What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Dave Cave. It is your host, DL Castell, in the Dave Cave right now. We're doing something different today. We are actually not doing a unboxing of any type of statue. However, we are going to talk about some figures that I've really been going into on. I mean, hard on. Pause, super pause. I'm buying toys. Let's get into it. All right, so here you guys have it. I've started down the rabbit hole, but I think I'm done. I'm actually really happy I'm done because I spent a lot of money on the last three pieces, and they weren't necessarily bad. They weren't necessarily good, but they did enough to get the job done for what I needed for the collection. Maybe, may or not, may fill a couple pieces in, but I've been buying these Digimon action figures. These were so dope back in the 90s when I was a kid. Now, Digimon didn't really take off that well in the States. I know it's still big in Japan. It's obviously, it was the shadow of Pokemon and other types of shows like that. It was Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, a bunch of that. And then there was Digimon. I always really liked Digimon because back when I was a kid, when they invented Tamagotchis, I didn't want a Tamagotchi. I thought Tamagotchis were very girly, but they had Digimon instead. Let me show you that. So to my point, this is the original Digimon. This is a brand new one in box. The box is open. I'm not sure if it was ever played with, but Digimon was kind of like the next level of Tamagotchis where you could interact with other Digimon owners. They also had a line of figures, which we're going to get into. But this is how it all started for me. It was this little Digimon Diddy-Bop right here. And if you turn it around, what you could do is you could actually battle a Digimon. So you could buy one. Your friend would have one. You would connect them, and then they would battle. There was different types of growths that they would each have, and they would all change from time to time, which is really cool. And you never know which one you were going to get. But I do remember sometimes that if you didn't take care of it for too long, it grew into this really ugly looking slug. Oh yeah, it's there. There's a little slug you can see right there. Oh, he sucked getting him. But yeah, these were dope. So if you weren't into Tamagotchis, you were a Digimon guy. Let's get into the figs because that's really what this video is about. So first off on the list, now this is actually one I did not own as a kid. And I got this box, which is really nice. This is Birdramon. So Birdramon actually turns on to Garudamon, which is like an army version of the Birdramon. Actually, to top it off, I also bought the Japanese version of Birdramon, who I got from a private seller on Facebook. This is new, unopened. They're both new and unopened. This one was really hard to get. There's this guy on Mercari who was being a real J.O. would never send it. But I gave him a bad rating on another thing that he sold me because he just shipped it in a box like this, like a schmuck. But anyway, I got my hands on both of these. And what's really cool about this one as opposed to this one, or this one as opposed to this one, I really don't know which one's cooler. They are actually the same exact thing. There really is no difference, except the Americanized box is way nicer than the Japanese box. You can see the Japanese boxes are pretty square and dull. Although the piece is in there and it is displayed quite beautifully, something about the big Digimon logo across the top is what really made it stand out. And honestly, that's why I love the American version just a little bit more. Now, I don't believe that these versions actually came with a trading card as the American versions did, but they do have a few more of these, which I'm really stoked to have gotten my hands on. So the next one is one of the main characters, and that was Greymon. So Greymon turned into Meadow Greymon, and again, this goes back to the nostalgia of this time when Digimon was pretty damn cool. And I'm telling you, they were struggling to keep up with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but they really just couldn't do it. And again, this isn't really, I know there's some films on Amazon that they're called Digimon Try, and then there's a bunch of versions of it. It's kind of like a movie / story that, you know, goes on for a little while, but it's really, really good. And I guarantee you, like, if you can go back and watch some of these original shows, you'll fall in love with this guy. He is the first one of the group. He starts off as Agumon, and Agumon evolves into Greymon, and then Greymon evolves into Meadow Greymon, which is weird because on the back of these two boxes, they're two different things. So this is actually the Greymon right here that evolves into Meadow Greymon, and there's the Birdramon that transforms into Garudamon. So I don't know why they did that. I think that's kind of interesting. But let me keep showing you guys some of the other ones. And I put these in order of my favorite ones from least favorite to favorite. Not saying that I don't like Birdramon, but Birdramon wasn't really my top tier of that. My next up was hands down Garurumon. Now Garurumon starts off as Gabumon. Gabumon was really cool, but he was like a real stupid sounding voice. I'll never forget it. His voice is like, "Oh, hello there." It was like really dumb, but he was really cool looking. He's the the little horned werewolf guy over there, in case you guys don't remember. So I was a big fan of Gabumon, which is why I loved Garurumon so much. And then Garurumon then evolved into Were-Garurumon, which is basically the standing up version of this wolf guy. And he has like an arm patch. Oh, it's actually right here. You can see it right there. So again, this is the first set of the series. Now, my favorite one, I didn't like his beginning stage, but I think his end stage was so dope. And that would be this, and this is one of the mint ones. This is actually the one that I gave the guy a bad rating on that wouldn't sell me the Flame Dramon because he sent it in a box just like this. But this, to me, is kind of like the holy grail of this four. I'll leave this turned around so you guys can see. So I have the whole original collection of the Series 1. This is Patamon. Now, Patamon was very cute. He was very little cuddly, little winged, potato. It's a winged potato. But he turned into Angimon, which you could see right there. He turned into this angel guy. And I remember the episode when he turned into Angimon, and I was like, wow, that's dope, because he was so badass and he was whooping everybody's ass. But this is the first series, so let's talk about season 2, because that's where things get a little interesting. All right, so going into season 2 of Digimon, I honestly don't remember the TV show really at all. I remember the movie, and I probably watched the movie probably about 300 times, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a really cool movie. But the toys were kind of weird because I think they were too much like Transformers, where I was already a Transformer guy growing up, and obviously I'm a huge Power Ranger guy, so I really didn't want to buy any more Transformers. And I kind of regret not keeping any of those from when I was a kid because I distinctly remember getting rid of a lot of ones that you saw previously for season 1. Now, season 2 started off with a couple different characters. This is actually called the Omnimon. Now, Omnimon is the Digimon of War-Greymon and Metal-Garurumon combined to make Omnimon. Now, this to me was like one of those quintessential type pieces that you had to own. There's actually 3 pieces in this series, and I do not own them all. I shouldn't say I do not own them, because do I own all of them? I don't. I don't own them all. I actually so it's weird because this is what I was talking about. Season 2, now that I'm looking at it, actually had 2 separate sets of Digimon figures. So this one was Omnimon, War-Greymon, and Paldramon. Now, you can see on the back, so it had War-Greymon right here, the Omnimon, which I'm holding, and the Paldramon right here. But what's really unique about these figures is that not all of them transformed. So the hype wasn't necessarily always about transforming Digimon figures. Sometimes the hype was just simple, what you see is what you get, like you do in this Omnimon right here. I probably won't go down the rabbit hole to find the War-Greymon or the Paldramon because I do have them in the newer released versions, but these are just really nostalgic to have. And although I probably will never sell this collection, if I ever did think about selling it, I would sell it for a very, very, very obnoxious price. Now, moving forward for the season 2, this is where things get a little funky. So, I'm not going to show you my favorite Digimon yet, but this is actually the evolved form of him. And unfortunately, this box has a little bit of yellowing. Big shout outs to my friend who hooked me up with this piece right here. So along with the Omnimon that you guys just saw right here, there's actually one more piece to what he sold me. My friend Brett hooked me up with these. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. That's what I'm going to show you guys because it doesn't necessarily make sense here, but we're going to roll with it. So this right here is Imperial Draymon. Now, the Imperial Draymon transforms to 2 characters. It actually shows the final form inside the packaging. And unfortunately, this one got a little bit yellowed out. It was it might have been in a smoker's home. It might have been in the sun. Whatever the case may be, it's still a very expensive piece. But if you notice that he's already in the Imperial Draymon phase, however, he actually starts off in the dragon mode right there. So, I don't know, something weird about that, but I guess you have to do it for the packaging purposes. So, despite the yellowing, this card is pretty damn good shape. My boy Brett really hooked me up on this. Now, these go for quite a bit of money, and sadly, I did pay a lot, but it's okay, and I don't mind they were yellowed because I probably am going to keep every single one of these. But these particular pieces could range anywhere from, I would say, $100 to $250. Because the Omnimon is in better case, I could probably get $200-300 for him. But that's you got to find the collector for it. I'm the collector that would pay for it. This particular piece, if it was without the yellow bubble, which I'm working on clearing it up right now, probably could get $250 for this. Now, I didn't pay full retail for these. Again, Brett hooked me up, so big shouts to Brett. But there was another piece to this puzzle, and it's actually a Season 3 character who's not part of this set, and that is Garogomon. So, in this particular series, they have a totally different 3 characters that you can go from. Guys, I promise, I'll figure out, I'm probably not going to use this light anymore because I know the Ring of Death is just brutal. So this particular character, now I've seen this go online for quite a bit of money. I've seen it go for about $200 to $300, probably more of like the $225 range. Again, it's another one where it's got a bit of yellowing in the front. It smelled a little bit, little cigarette smell, but I have a treatment product that I made to get rid of those smells on the cardboard, which works wonders because they smell minty fresh. But this particular thing, even though it's yellowed out, I'm still not mad about it. This character is a little bit later on in the show, and they had the Growlmon, which I really liked, who's actually the guy on the top, but you just cannot locate Growlmons anywhere. I have seen a few of the Kaibamons, which is like the Pokemon like Ninetales, but I was able to get my hands on this. So just full transparency, this set right here, probably as is, could get anywhere between $600 to $700. I'm just being modest because I honestly don't know how much I could really get for them, but I would still make my money back and then some. I actually paid $550 for these pieces. The reason why I paid so much is, one, because I really wanted them, and two, because the nostalgic for me did not matter on the money. So although you may look at it and be like, oh my God, this guy's crazy spending $550 on 3 action figures, the money is still there and I could always sell them and get my money back. And the truth of the matter is, I do post things back online that I buy because if someone is going to pay for it, then, well, they're going to get it. And that's okay with me. Now, with that being said, these particular figures, again, they're a little more nostalgic for me, a little more important, and they're in pretty damn good condition. The Garogomon, he does have a lot of issues on his card. The bubble is, clearly yellowed out. Same thing with the Imperialmon, yellowed out, but the card is in really, 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 really good shape. And the Omnimon, although the card is a little rough, honestly, it's in amazing shape compared to these other two, and I'm so happy to get these. So big shouts to you, Brett. I appreciate you working with me and getting these to my collection. All right, guys, so Imperialmon is still staying on the stage, and that's for one major reason. Now, this is a very, very old action figure. I think it's, what is this, 1997. So this is actually from 1997, which means it was 30 years ago. That's crazy because I was 7 years old when I wanted this action figure and I didn't get it. So 30 years later, I got it. Wow, that's freaking crazy. Damn, I'm getting old. Anyways, Bandai is still the controller of a lot of Digimon action figures, and they actually re-released figures as time went by. So this right here is the same exact figure you're seeing right here. This is another unopened one. I got it from Sideshow Collectibles. They had it on sale for like 30 bucks or 40 bucks. And I was just like, there's no reason for me to not own this. Now, the only downside with buying this, although it's a much more badass figure, these do range in sales from aftermarket sales for about $100, give or take. I have seen some people sell them for $110 on a couple of the sites, but out of box about $60. So I have not opened this, and I don't plan on opening it. Yeah, I got it for like $35 or $40 on sale, and I was like, oh my God, Digimon, whoa, this is so cool. And this kind of reignited my whole want for the collection to start getting into it. I actually had this on my Mercari site for sale, but then I said, you know what, I'm still going to buy these. And these are really cool. The articulation of them is fantastic. And I think that's what sets this to, because I said Bandai, but it's Bandai with Tamashii Nations. That's the catch. If you know anything about Tamashii Nations, you know that Tamashii Nations make some of the best figures in the planet. So this is a Tamashii Nations and Bandai action figure. I should have said that from the beginning. Alongside this version of Digimon, there is another version of Digimon by Bandai and Tamashii Nations. Now, these figs are tight. This is the Spirit series. So this is Darumon. I did open the box. I think I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of buying about 4 more of these. The Metal Garurumon, the Metal Greymon. There is I don't know how to say his name. It's like Altukla Karbutramon, something like that. It's a big, like, whatever the hell he is. But these are really awesome. They also made an Angemon and an Angewoman, kind of like the Patamon I showed you earlier. But what's really, really, really nice about these, and this one, sadly, I bought it new, but they had opened it, which is really aggressively annoying. However, these actually transform into their actual, I guess you could say, their original stages. So you can see on the box right here what it turns into, and it shows you a lot of it right here on the back of the piece. So they do a lot of really nice detail on these, and I'm really excited to add it to my collection. I probably will fully take it out and add it on display. But again, Spirits is a whole different line of Digimon, and honestly, these are very, very cool. They do run anywhere between $60 to about $300 for the Angemon and the Angewoman, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't gotten down that rabbit hole, but I'm getting close. Let's keep going because I want to show you guys my Grail Digimon piece right now. All right, guys, so you've pretty much seen my entire Digimon collection, but this next piece is actually where I got really riled up to continue buying more and more of them. As toxic as I am as a collector, it gets me to this point where if I have to buy one, I have to buy as many as you see. Now, this next character started off as Vmon, who's this cute little blue guy. And I've seen a couple figures of him out. He was part of the 2nd season, I believe. But he turned into this badass character, which when I was a kid, I said I wanted to get tattooed on me. So without further ado, my excitement brings to you my main man. This is Flamedramon. So Flamedramon is such a wickedly cool character. And this particular piece took me a little bit of time to get. Now, first and foremost, I didn't even remember the name of the character. So that was the first big problem of it. I did not remember his name. And I kind of ran around in circles for a while to really locate this. And I was like, what was his name? Bluemon? Bling Blong? I couldn't remember for anything. And then finally, after some hour of rabbit holing, I came up with the name Flamedramon. I typed it in and I found this. But I found this for $395 on eBay. I found it on other websites for $4.99. I found it on other websites for $2.95, for $2.75, but none of them were as good a condition as this one. However, I managed to obtain this one for $135. I swear to you, I bought it for $135. And honestly, I don't care about the defects in it. Now, he does turn into Magnamon, which I bought the model kit for, which I just finished downstairs. But realistically, the only issues are there's some, see like the little bend in the card right here. There's a little wear on the card from this age. But guys, you have no idea. It took me forever to find this, and I could not stomach paying over, $175 for something like this. It was just not happening. So for me to spend $135 on it was even better because I got the piece that ended up making me want to buy more of them, like the original series and stuff like that. So this was my Grail of Digimon, and it actually is weird because he doesn't turn into anything like really cool. He actually turns into an egg. So the same thing with they're called Digi Egg Miracles. They start off as eggs. I don't know, it's stupid, but yeah, he turns into an egg, and honestly, who cares? Because it's just badass the way it is. So big shouts to anybody out there who's collecting Digimon still, and big shouts to everybody who remembers the show Digimon. I wish that it was a little more alive as it should be, but it's not, and that's okay because I'm still a fan at heart. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the collection and see how it's growing and see some of the things that I'm buying. I am selling mystery boxes, so I do them on my other pages such as Instagram and Facebook. If you're interested in a mystery box, find me on there, on Instagram at DL Castell, and on Facebook, I don't even know what it is on Facebook, so I can't tell you that. But anyway, guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all your support. Any like or subscribe, it means the world to me. I don't care if I only get 1 or 2 views. It doesn't matter to me. I just genuinely like doing this, and I genuinely like sharing some joy with people and showing them some cool-ass freaking toys. Anyway, guys, once again, have a great night. I'll see you on the next one.